how many real estate transactions do you need to do per year to retire from the business? Now, if you're at that spot in your life where you're doing 8 to 12 units a year, 8 to 12 sales a year, you're probably not even thinking about retirement. Or maybe you are. Maybe you should be. Like, I've been doing this for 20 years. So what's it look like if you've been in the business for 3 to 5 years? Are you thinking, well, 8 to 12 units is cool? And if you are, why are you thinking 8 to 12 units is cool? Why are you thinking 20 units is cool? Are you thinking that because it's enough to pay your bills? Like, that's cool and all that you could pay your bills, but you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna wake up 20 years from now and you're still gonna be doing 20 units a year, and you know what's happened? You may be making good money because sales prices went up, but competition has gotten harder, not just because there's more realtors, and maybe in next year's market, a struggle to get buyers and sellers, but you're not even keeping up with the cost of inflation. My wife and I were just discussing this today, and it's like, in a lot of sectors, and don't quote me on the amount, but I've seen anywhere from the cost of goods, power, energy, etc. I've seen it go up anywhere in some sectors 10, 30, 40% over the last 5 years. And I know the administration say like, well, inflation's at 3%, but that's not, it didn't go retroactive. It didn't pull back the amounts that it's gone. Like, we're still at inflated prices all over the country. And if that continues, and statistically speaking, it does, things just continue to get more expensive, and you're still doing 8 to 12 units a year, how are you going to retire off that? You're not. You're going to wake up and you're going to be 20 years in the business, and you're going to have no assets. You'll be lucky if you have your own home. You're not going to be having money that's diversified in dividends, the stock market, crypto, maybe that's your thing. And you should. And you should. We literally are in a business, realtors, where we help people with the largest transaction, or what could be the largest transaction in their life. And for people the past however many years, 60, 70 years that we've been recording real estate data, has been one of the greatest investment factors. More people have been pulled up from the middle class, or into the middle class and above the middle class through real estate. You're seeing that right now with the boomers who bought their homes for $80,000 and now can sell them for $1.1 million. They've made more money off of real estate. We're in charge of that, and yet we're going to wake up 20 years from now and have nothing to show for it. So here's my question. Here's my question to the realtors out there. If it's not 20 units, how many is it? Is it 40, 50? I've worked with agents that do 100 units a year. Like, in the last year and a half, I coached more agents across Canada that did over 100 units a year than I could care to remember. It was insane. That's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that much work. And yet, does that put you in a position to pay your bills and then take $50,000, $100,000 a year and invest it in extra homes, invest it in extra assets, invest it in the stock market, invest it in wherever you feel like diversifying your income? Is it 200 units? And if it's not 8 to 12 or 20 units, which is pretty average out there. I think the average realtor, according to National Association of Realtors, does about 2 to 3 deals a year. So let's say you're beating that average and you're at 8 to 12 or 20 units. If you're now watching this video and you're like, holy crud, I'm just going to be taking orders from my broker who's going to tell me to make more cold calls 15, 20 years from now, have nothing to show for it, still be in the rat race, and yet everything's got more expensive. If you're watching this going, oh my God, that's going to be me, then what is it you need to do? Is it 50, 60? Like, do the math, find out what your average commission is, what you're going to need per unit, and then go, great. If I'm at 12 units a year, but I need to get to 60 units a year to make sure I have 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year, whatever that number is for you to invest. If the gap, let's say you're at 20 units a year and you need 60, so the gap then is 40. I'm not great at math. I can do percentage as well. If the gap is 40, then what are you doing today to get to 40 units? And if it's door knocking, good luck. Good luck. And if you're watching this saying, well, Brian, I do 20 units a year door knocking, that's fantastic. Good for you. Do you think door knocking is going to get easier or harder in the future? And the greatest way to answer that is, do you answer your door? Do you get annoyed at people when they knock on your door? When someone knocks on your door, do you check your cameras before you even open it? Do you look at your phone to see if someone had texted you before you showed up? This ain't the 70s and the 80s, people. People are knocking on your door going, oh my God, the Joneses are here. Break out the coffee cake. It's a really funny bit. I can't think of the comedian that did that. But door knocking is going to get more difficult. If your answer is for sale by owners, expireds, cold calls into your sphere, all of that stuff has worked. I've done it all. I'm not saying it doesn't work anymore. It's not a phone call. But is it going to work at the same rate? Do not call lists are going all over the place like crazy. My iPhone will block your phone call. Literally started a call screening thing for me in the last 3, 4, 5 months, I think is when I got the update. Is it sending out postcards? Get this thrown in the mail. Do you think most buyers and sellers are coming from postcards now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Think about the products that you buy. See this? I know you're looking at this hoodie and you're like, what is that? That's a bearskin hoodie. It's a bearskin hoodie. It was the only thing I wanted for Christmas. Why? Because I watched videos and it kept popping up as an ad on YouTube, which brought me to their site, which made me watch more of their content. And then it kept following me and retargeting me on Instagram. It retargeted me on Facebook. It retargeted me on YouTube. And for months I saw this ad, and then I started doing more research on it. Then I read the reviews. 3, 4 months later, Merry Christmas. I got a bearskin hoodie. I love this thing. It's super comfortable. Realtors, if I'm thinking about selling my house 3 months from now or buying a house for 3 months from now, am I gonna go with the stupid postcard I saw that Hobbs Herder taught people how to do 40 years ago? All my old school realtors watching this know what Hobbs Herder is. Do you remember Hobbs Herder?
I do.
20 years, Hobbs Herder, she knows it. It's Amanda, it's my wife. The point is, it's not, you didn't buy a product from the postcard you probably saw. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Probably not. But most of the products you probably recently purchased were something that you saw on social media, some influencer, etc. And if I was going to buy a home or sell my home 3 months from now, am I going to work with you because of the postcard, because you knocked on my door and annoyed me, because you made a cold call I had to screen, or are you going to work with me because I found you online while I was looking at homes on Zillow, and then all of a sudden you were retargeting me? And I went to your Instagram and saw tons of videos on the things that you do for a living and what makes you different in real estate. That is a digital agent. That is the agent of the future. That is how products are bought today. And I'm willing to put my name on the line that say that is exactly how real estate agents are not only going to be purchased tomorrow, it's already happening. I've met more realtors over the last 2 years that I was doing coaching on agent reviews, etc. I've met more agents that do 30, 40 transactions a year off TikTok than off of any other mean. So how many is it going to take for you to retire? Are you even thinking about that? You're going to wake up and you're going to be 20 years in the business. What are you doing to be different? Take care.